So in the spirit of shopping my own closet and not buying a new bag just to celebrate the changing of the season, which I mean, fall does come around every year, believe it or not. So I'm trying to chill a bit and not fall victim to any of the new must-buy fall tricks, which if you watched my previous video, I am definitely still struggling with that. But today, I want to share with you 6 bags that I currently own that I know I will be using and abusing as we enter into the fall season. Now, some of these bags are newer and some are tried and true, so let's jump into the video. Welcome or welcome back to A Briefcase of Luxury, where we love to chat about all things related to life, learning, and luxury. While I have no intentions of quitting my day job as a business professor, I would love to grow this channel. So thank you to those of you who have subscribed, liked, commented, or shared my videos in the past. And thank you so much for watching this video today. Now let's just go from smallest to largest, shall we? I have 2 bags in each category, and for each bag, I'll tell you why I think it's going to be one of my fall go-tos, and I'll show you what fits, and I'll also include mod shots so you can see what they look like worn on my frame as someone who is 5'3" and a size small. Now, I am happy to report that I am once again a comfortable size small. For a while there, I was getting nervous that I was going to have to replace and upsize some of my wardrobe essentials, but we're back on track, and that's largely thanks to my new Ring Air from Ultra Human. So this has been super insightful this past month or so for helping me keep on top of my health goals. I think I've lost about 2 to 3 pounds, but I'll save a proper review for another video. And because I plan on doing mod shots for each bag, I am so thrilled to be able to work with Estier once again. They have a bunch of new fall winter releases. We're talking perfect transitioning coats and pants and sweaters. And when I've worked with Estier in the past, I've picked out pieces that I thought would be good for work, for summer traveling. This time around, I took an honest look at my upcoming calendar and the complete lack of events and places I have lined up, and I decided to go with pieces that are instead going to be perfect for my lazy, low-key, cozy fall schedule, as in these are perfect pieces for my very simple lifestyle where I want to look put together but still casual and comfortable. As always, I will have everything linked below, and I believe my discount code still works, so please check out Estier if you are looking for new fall winter pieces to add to your collection. So in the first category of bags, I have my small daily errand bags. So these are the perfect grab and go size for me for when I just need to run into town real quick and I don't need to carry a lot, meaning they are just big enough to fit my phone, wallet, keys, maybe a hand sanitizer and a chapstick, but only when I remember to grab those 2 items. This category of bag is probably my most used on a weekly basis, besides my actual work bags, which I'm not even including in this video because my work bags have their own rotation schedule. So one of my newest additions from this summer is the Rhanders mini swan bag in this camel/caramel color. Now, I don't want to beat a dead horse, so I will link my unboxing video if you want to learn more about this very heritaged Danish company. Plus, I still owe you a proper review of this bag. I just haven't had time to film that yet, so please bear with me. But spoiler alert, she is stinking adorable. She's itty bitty, and I am still not over how buttery soft her leather is. Now, functionally, I love the magnetic closure at the top. It's so easy to just open and close it. And it has a much cleaner look compared to a zip closure like what you would get on the mini Jody, which of course, this is reminiscent of that bag. I completely understand, but I honestly think this is better. A big part of that is just because she's so soft and supple and organic looking, especially when she's worn as a top handle bag. Like, she just sinks into her leather really nicely. I do appreciate that she does come with a 14 karat gold-plated chain. Even though the chain makes the bag look dressier, I still probably wouldn't use this as an evening bag. Maybe if I had gotten this in a different color, but the leather on this bag and just the brown on it just makes it too casual for an evening bag, in my opinion. Instead, she's perfect for running daily errands around town. Now, that being said, I actually do like how she looks handheld, more so than on a chain. And the same goes for the new Mini Jody with the chain. I get that it's so you can wear the bag in multiple ways, but I feel like using the chain makes the top handle portion of the bag look kind of awkward, like it's not supposed to be there. And it knows it's not supposed to be there, but it's got nowhere else to go. But it's also one of those situations where the bag is so tiny, it's just not practical to use the bag with the chain tucked away, ready at a moment's notice for when you need a temporary shoulder strap. I feel like you just have to commit one way or the other. And personally, I just prefer the look of her without the chain, although I do appreciate the option. Plus, the chain is really easy to remove if you need to. So it's just a bag that's too small to carry the chain if you don't plan on using it. Now, in hindsight, do I wish I got her in a different color? Maybe one that transitions better to an evening bag? I mean, yes and no. In a perfect world, I would have gotten this size in a pop of color, and I would have gotten a second version in a size up in a more respectable color like this. Wouldn't that be amazing? Like a grown-up mama and her funky little duckling. Like, how cute, right? But again, try not to shop just for the sake of shopping this season. This next bag is an oldie but goodie, and it is none other than my Coach Kip Turn Lock. So this is now officially the only remaining Coach bag in my collection. Yeah, I have since sold or gifted all the others, and I'm just not ready to let her go yet, especially since she's so good for the cooler months. Like the glove tanned leather along with the aged brassy hardware just has a warmth to it that makes it so perfect for the fall. Now, this also has a really nice long crossbody strap that's super adjustable. So like bring on the coats and the layers. She can handle all the extra bulk like a champ and still crossbody really, really nicely. My one issue is that the leather keeper on mine, so this thing right here, is a little loose, and so it never actually does its job of holding this extra strap bit in place. Like, it's not a huge deal, but I do find myself having to like push her back up, only to know that it won't stay in place for more than a few seconds. In terms of the bag itself, I love the fact that she has a back pocket, a little pochette Matisse style top handle, which makes it easy to grab like when you're getting out of the car or something like that. And her turn lock closure is super fuss free. And this is what she looks like on the inside. And by the way, this bag ended up being the perfect dupe for the Louis Vuitton Pochette Matisse for me. And I didn't even know it when I first bought it. Like, I bought her on impulse at the airport. I think it was like 50% off. Like, I couldn't turn it down. Now, in terms of how delicate the glove tan leather is, I mean, to be fair, I don't think this leather is meant to stay pristine. It's going to get scuffed for sure, but the leather itself has such a fuss-free vibe to it that it almost wouldn't feel right without a scuff or two, kind of like the Hermes Barenia leather. Like, it's meant to show that it's been used and well loved. But this, yeah, is another great fall transitioning bag. Now, on a side note, yes, I am still quite in love with Coach's new maple color, which is their new chocolate brown shade, and they have released that in a bunch of bags, like the Tabby, the Hampton. Like, I think they're gorgeous, but I just don't know how I feel about adding more Coach bags at the moment when I just managed to whittle down my collection. So there you have my 2 mini bags for the fall. In the second category, I have my small to medium-sized bags. So these are bags that are perfect for when I'm out and about, maybe for longer periods of time, like needing to hit multiple stops. And more importantly, these bags are going to be great for when my husband is with me, because he hates carrying his keys and wallet in his pocket. So any chance he gets, he is going to try to slip his stuff into my bag. So when he's with me, these bags are going to carry both of our essential items comfortably. So the GG Low Dollarino is a newer bag in my collection and the honeymoon phase isn't quite over yet. I am still loving her east-west style and size, and I still think this is such an easy mini tote style bag. And I personally have nothing against wearing her with her flap tucked in. Again, I do have the straps done up, so it's not just a giant gaping hole at the top. But if I need to, it's really easy to just pop her flap over the top of the opening, even if I don't do her all the way up. And when it comes to her shoulder strap, it is both removable and adjustable. I surprisingly still prefer to use her as a top handle, but unlike the Rhanders Swan bag, I don't feel the need to ever take the strap off. I don't think you need to tuck it into the bag either. I think it looks fine, just kind of like draped over the top. And in a pinch, I can just throw her over my shoulder and life is good. Now, one thing I am curious about is how this handle drop compares to the Birkin 25. Like, from my understanding, it's fairly similar. Kind of like the Birkin 25, you'll notice that on the GG, the top handle is a little bit shorter compared to the front just because of the flat placement. And that's how the Birkin 25 is as well. However, just from the specs I can find online, the top handle on the Birkin 25 may be a smidge smaller, but as you can see, I don't have a problem slipping this up onto my forearm, which I do quite often. And that would almost for sure have to be an option if I ever were to decide to one day add the Birkin 25. I honestly just need to go to a physical pre-loved store and try one on in person before making my final decision. But yeah, this is the GG Low, and I am still obsessed with it. Plus, her color is so seasonless in my opinion. I think she's good for the spring and summer, but she's not too cool toned for the fall or winter, but she's definitely not like your traditional fall brown shade either. So next up we have the Cartier Panthère de Graphique in the mini size, and this is another bag I picked up this summer, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't had much opportunity to use her. Maybe I've used her a handful of times, so she does look completely brand spanking new, but I'm hoping now is her time to shine because I see this as something I can use as an evening bag, but let's be honest, I've looked at my social calendar. I have no classy evening events to go to, okay? Who am I kidding? Like, I teach an evening graduate class once a week, and that's about all the evening action I see. Now, that being said, she does give off evening bag vibes, and because of that, I found her a little tough to wear during like a summer day when it's 100 degrees out. I just don't feel like she went the best with a lot of my casual summer outfits like tank tops and shorts. But if I was wearing a black summer dress, that's different. Like she looked great then. But other than that, I mean, look at her. Besides her buckle, which I get some people may find it a little kitschy, she's a pretty serious looking bag. However, I think she's going to be a lot more wearable in the cooler months with some nice long pants and a coat. I even think she would be easier to dress down with like jeans and a sweater. There's just something about being more covered up, which makes me feel like she'd be easier to use. And that being said, I am not mad about the fact that I haven't used her much. Plus, the main reason why I bought her was to commemorate my black cat. I've mentioned this so many times by now. I've been on this journey to commemorate all of my pets. So by default, this bag is not going anywhere, even if it never cracks my most used bag list. And there you have my medium-sized bags. So in the last category, these are going to be my medium to large bags. I know large is a very subjective and trend-dependent topic, but in other words, these are my more space than I could ever need bags. But depending on the weather and what we're doing, like these bags are going to be great for like a mini day trip, because if we were to buy little giblets, or if I need to bring an umbrella or sunglasses or a bottle of water, I can chuck in all that extra stuff and it wouldn't be a problem. So first up, we have my tried and true Hermes Evelyn in the PM size in the color gold with palladium hardware. And speaking of commemorating my pets, I have one of my new Twillies on her. I have tied her into a bow just so you can see the German Shepherd and the little kitty cat on the Twilly. I definitely didn't think it through when I bought the Twilly, because you just gotta remember that as much as you may love a design of a Twilly, there's a very good chance you won't be able to see the actual design once you actually use the Twilly, right? Mind blown. So it actually took a while to find the right bag where I can tie a bow with her and still have the pièce de résistance of the Twilly be visible. And I needed a bag that could handle having like a longer bow ribbon, and this thankfully worked out great. And even the colors, I mean, I didn't plan on it going so well together. Again, I originally wanted to tie her onto my New Evelyn TPM back here, which I bought when I bought this Twilly, but the German Shepherd just wouldn't have been visible because the bag is so short. In terms of the actual PM size, you've seen this bag on my channel countless of times. I never use her with her original canvas strap. I solely use her with this short shoulder strap that I bought off of Etsy. And ta-da, you now have your perfect hobo bag. And while I do store her with a bag insert, she has one in there right now, I actually prefer to use her without one. Even if things do get bulgy at the bottom, maybe if I can find like a really soft insert, I might try that instead. So if you have suggestions for a insert that's more for protecting just the unlined interior rather than giving it shape and structure, please let me know. I just like having it be more relaxed. Now, I do plan on doing a comparison video between my new TPM and the PM size, but I do feel like I will be leaning more towards using the PM size during the fall rather than the TPM, and not just because of the color. I just love a good slouchy hobo for the fall season, and every time I feel as though I'm being influenced by the new hobo bags that are now all the rage at the moment, like the new Louis Vuitton hobo bag, I mean, I don't know what those are going to add that this bag can't fulfill for me. Plus the Hermes gold is just like the perfect color for fall, right? I mean, to me, this is already a seasonless color, but it's like extra good for the fall. And functionally, she's fantastic. I love the fact that she has a front pocket. I like that I can slip my hand through the sides without always having to undo the front buckle, but it's not so easy to do that I would have to be overly concerned about pickpocketing, especially when she's worn over the shoulder. All right, last but not least, we have my Hermes Her bag in the Burline coated canvas in the color noir with gold hardware. I still can't believe I was able to snag this off the Hermes website. They just don't drop the coated canvas version that often, and I still stand by it. This is the reason why the Kelly 28 got booted off my wish list. But again, because of her size and her colorway, I do find it hard to style in the warmer months. So do I regret selling my other Her bag that was in the Chris Viking canvas, which was more appropriate for the warmer months? I mean, I still prefer the coated canvas just from a wearability perspective. Like, this is just so much more durable and water resistant and less prone to staining or scratches compared to the regular cloth version. But as much as I try to stay away from duplicate bags, I would not be opposed to another Her bag, maybe one like in a lighter color, but I just haven't seen any of those. Can you imagine like a nice Nata or Cray with gold hardware, maybe with the natural Vache Hunter trim? I think that would be gorgeous. Now, one time on the website, I did see Hermes drop a burgundy or a rouge ash version, and that was another stunning option. Now, I know some people find the Her bag too big. I mean, it does measure 31 centimeters across, so yeah, it's not small by any means, but I think in the cooler months, it looks so much more proportionate when you have layers on, right? Which is part of the reason why I lean more towards using this only in fall and winter. Now, the other thing to note though is the shoulder strap. I know a lot of people have beef with the shoulder strap. And depending on how thick my coat is, sometimes it's not that feasible to wear her crossbody. However, she does make an excellent shoulder bag or a top handle bag. And I also know some people don't like the Vache Hunter material. It's not super pliable because it is really thick and it seems to have a life of its own. I do appreciate the fact that it is basically unlined leather on the back, and so there's a lot of grip when it comes to using her as a shoulder bag. You're not going to run into the issue of her slipping off your shoulder. Plus, it also does have a really generous top handle, so even if you do have a coat or a sweater on, like, it shouldn't be an issue to wear it in the crook of your arm. So there you have it, the 6 bags I currently already own that I am most excited to use this fall. Now, I just noticed that these are all either in black or brown. I mean, what can I say? I've barely started to venture into colors this year, and these are still the colors that make up the bulk of my handbag collection. Plus, they are so wearable. You don't have to think about whether your bag is going to match your outfit. Like, it's gonna match. But I hope this video inspires you to fall back in love with your current bag collection instead of always just worrying about your next bag. And finally, a huge shout out to Esther for helping me make my mod shots more visually enjoyable. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch up with you next time.